Welcome to the fucking show, people.
Yeah! Woohoo! Woo! America!
Okay, Mike.
Mark, I did my homework, right? And so you then asked me,
sorry for interrupting.
would you like to copy?
Lovely shoes.
Lovely shoes.
Go on. Very, very nice.
I did think I manifested that you would compliment my shoes.
Did you?
I don't know why.
They're very nice.
They're just very straightforward shoes.
Yeah, no bullshit.
No bullshit. Yeah.
Pumas.
Yes, indeed.
Very nice. Where are they
Meant to be a
from?
running shoe from My Sport and then Escorting.
Ah,
There you
very
go.
good.
What an advertisement. Now, I did my homework.
Okay.
And you then said, can I have a quick look or whatever?
Yeah.
And it reminded me of when I was it must have been a third year in secondary school in Cork Community School. And I remember that my science teacher, I let someone copy my homework in the corridor. And not only did the person who copied my homework get a lunchtime detention, but I also got a lunchtime detention.
Bollocks.
Because there is an onus on the person who provides the material to also not let their material be copied. I learned the hard way, folks. There you go.
Enabling.
You
were the enabler.
Yeah,
The only enabler in detention, I'd say.
indeed. But looking back on it, I don't think I fully appreciated that there was probably a bit of wisdom.
There was a
in what she
lesson.
doing. There was a lesson
in
indeed.
that, yeah.
But Mark, you're probably intrigued what this homework on
Yeah.
this little schoolbook style copybook page is. Mark, this week you turned 28.
I do. Thank you for remembering, because I forgot.
But you're not 28. You're 18 with 10 years experience.
Okay. Wow, I like where this is going.
You like that?
Yeah.
So this is the game show. You're 18 with 10 years experience. Okay. Catchy, yeah. Okay, Mark, question 1. When you're 16, you think 28 is so old. And then you get to 28 and it's fabulous. You think then, what about 42? Oh, and then 42 is great. As you reach each age, you gain the understanding you need to deal with it and enjoy it. Was that former Wexford GA County PRO and proud Buffers Alley woman Mary Foley or actress Helen Mirren?
Oh, that sounds to me a bit like... Well, first of all, I don't believe that Mary Foley is 42. She doesn't look a day over 30. So I'd go with Helen Mirren.
Very good. What a lovely compliment. Yes, that was Helen Mirren. So I think it's interesting that Helen adopts this attitude.
Well, she's ancient.
Well, she is ancient, yes, indeed. But she has had most of her success well, I think she has been most successful in the latter part of her career.
Yeah, like Colonel Sanders.
What was Colonel Sanders?
Colonel Sanders invented KFC when he was in his 80s, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a real person.
And was he a colonel?
I have no idea. Colonel of Chicken. He probably was.
That's one for you at home.
Yeah.
So, actress Helen Mirren. See, right, not only, so she's saying that like longevity is, part of life or whatever, but like, it is true that she has been more successful in her acting career, according to me as an acting expert, in the latter part of her career. That's number 1. Number 2, do you not get the sense, Mark, that here is an actress telling us that our age is about how we act with it?
Yeah.
And your microphone.
Sorry, yeah, I just want to make sure it's not folded down on itself.
Oh, very important, yes, indeed. So, yeah, it was food for thought for me there, that, like, maybe there is a bit of acting involved in everything in life.
Maybe.
Question 2. You are 27 or 28, right? It is very tough to live at that age. When nothing is sure, I have sympathy with you. Was that former Sinn Féin leader who was not a member of the IRA, Gerry Adams, or Japanese best-selling author Haruki Murakami?
Ooh, okay. So
he said again, you are 27 or 28, right? It is very tough to live at that age. When nothing is sure, I have sympathy with you.
Can I just say that there's a clue hidden in the fact that there was a slight Asian twinge to the way you read that. You're 27 or 28, right? I can't see Gerry Adams talking like that. All right. You're 27, 28. 27, 28.
No, he's Indian. Or is Nelson Mandela?
You are 27 or 28. We're gonna get cancelled.
Cultural appropriation.
It's all in good fun.
Indeed. On your birthday.
That is. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because that will probably come out racist.
Indeed.
It is the latter.
The latter.
The latter.
Haruki Murakami. An interesting one here, Mark. Do you have any thoughts on it?
So it was you're 27 or 28, right? What was the following?
It is very tough to live at that age.
How? It's tough
Nothing is sure.
Nothing is sure. But nothing is sure at any age. Except death. For the elderly. And that's their blessing.
Only the elderly. Well, Mark, you bring up death, and that's a perfect time to bring up Joe Comerford and Conor Moore have brought up...
Rest in peace.
Have brought up the 27 Club.
Okay.
And these are famous people that have died, have not gone past the age of 27. Yes. Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Billy Eilish. Sorry.
Breaking news.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. 27 Club.
Kurt Cobain.
Yes, yeah. See, these are all famous names that I actually don't really know. But yeah, there are other people there as well. Jim Morrison.
Oh yeah, Brown Eyed Girl.
Joplin. Oh. But yeah, it's mad to think. So anyway, you've beat the 27 Club is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, very good. One of the biggest podcasters in the world. And I've lived past 27. Who would have thought?
Very good. I'll put that on your Wikipedia page. Do not regret going older. It is a privilege denied to many. So I think that was a good quote to tie into what we've discussed there.
Who was that, Gary V?
I think it's Anon.
Ah, sorry, yes. Gary V was just grind harder.
Right, indeed. Yeah.
Have you seen Tim Dillon's bit on him?
Lately?
No, he don't. I think if you just Google Tim Dillon, Gary V, he does a whole kind of monologue on him.
Oh, yeah.
Like an impression of him. It's very good.
Yeah. I think they did a podcast together.
Did they?
At some point, yeah. And I think Tim was just like, do you not know I make fun of you? That's very good. So, Rhubarb Murdoch gave which up-and-coming contrarian and Briton the role of youngest editor in Fleet Street's history at the age of 28. So Rupert Murdoch, head of the publishing empire, gave an up-and-coming contrarian and Briton the role of youngest editor in Fleet Street's history at the age of 28.
Winston Churchill.
Mark, that's Piers Morgan.
Ah, fuck. Same thing.
Piers Morgan. So he must have been a bit of a go-by. He must have been a man that got up early in the morning.
He pulled up his socks.
And he made a right impression to get a big gig like that at the age of 28. Now, Mark, this... Oh, sorry.
No, go on. I was just... Piers Morgan has been around a while, hasn't he?
He has, like,
doesn't seem very old. Like, he doesn't. He seems young at heart.
Young at heart. You think there's a gentle side to Piers Morgan?
Yes.
Yes. Well, with NASA, we might find it.
Well, look, Piers Morgan, we've all heard sex sells. And so he's obviously playing a role in his media career.
I'm lost now.
Piers Morgan being sort of, an attractive icon in British culture. Naturally. A provocateur, you would call him.
Indeed.
With those shirts and those ties and that hairline. It's fantastic. But I'm sure there's a softer side to him as well.
To quote Mark Halpin, onwards.
Onwards.
This is the year you can make it, Mark. Alexander Graham Bell spent much of his 29th year developing the telephone.
Right.
So think about what you could do for a year that could result in a life or a world-changing invention like the telephone.
Here's a question. When you call someone, you'll say, I'll give them a bell.
Oh yeah, or a tinkle.
A tinkle? You'll give them a tinkle?
Sometimes I say, I'll give them
a tinkle.
Really?
A tinkle? Yeah. A tinkle would be urination in my book.
Oh, right.
I'm going for a tinkle.
Oh, right. Okay.
But when you say you're going to give someone a bell, does that come from Alexander Graham?
Oh, I never thought of that.
Because you're not actually ringing a bell, but I suppose you're ringing someone. So you're ringing the bell. The Alexander Graham bell. Ah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That reminds me of, like Tesla. Is it? Well, I know it's deliberate that
Nikola.
Indeed, but like It's a good name for a car, an electric car, given that Tesla was fascinated with electric currents and much of his work resulted in Edison
Stealing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Extracting.
Extraction, yes. Edison was a bollocks.
Indeed. Now, for God rest him. Number 6, the University of Padua appoints either Galileo Galilei or Noel Kelly as its chair of mathematics at the age of 28.
Oh, wow. Noel Kelly's maths hasn't been great lately.
He's very good at, I don't know, did you see the thing and he go 445, 545, 445?
No.
Oh, he was spitting out Ryan's salary for the years and like he was on top of the numbers.
Off the top of his head, like?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that he was doing it all off the top of his head. I would say Galileo for that one.
Ah, indeed, yes.
Galileo Figaro.
Beautiful. Yes, chair of maths in a university there at the age of 28.
In the University of where?
Padua.
Padua. Now, where is Padua?
It's in Italy.
Is that where your father originally came from?
Oh, Padua.
In Padua. Brother Padua. I can imagine your dad going to do an ayahuasca in the Amazon and they say, Brother Padua. It is time.
I heard someone recount the story of getting ayahuasca lately.
Okay.
And they don't just give you the ayahuasca, they do a whole rake of things and they put this burning liquid in your eye and it's meant to like, I don't know, it puts a film over your eye. I tell you, Mark, I know you've been into the ayahuasca before. I don't think I'd be mad for it now.
No, I would love to go do it. I've never done ayahuasca, but this was someone you were talking to in person.
Indeed.
Yeah.
They did it in Mullingar or something.
Mullingar, right. So they didn't go to the Amazon to do this. No. How did they come across, or can we give that information away online?
I can't remember. There is a crowd that still do it. I'm not sure if they do it in Mullingar, but they still do it. Right. No, actually, she said that someone that was on her retreat bought a retreat for their parents as a Christmas present. Like they didn't really. They thought a retreat would be like massage and spa robes, and like
they were on the retreat. Oh my god!
So ayahuasca.
Holy shit!
So they had to leave early because the mother kind of was finding it a little bit too strong.
Did they do it?
They did it, but she was absolutely haywire.
Somewhere else.
She was running around the place.
Would you do it? Ayahuasca?
No, I've other things to do before ayahuasca.
Okay,
that's the way I do it.
Finish the house.
Finish the house, yeah.
Your man, remember we were going to have him on the podcast? The mushroom retreats.
Yes.
In Amsterdam, no, not Amsterdam, but somewhere in the Netherlands. I was looking into that recently. They're like, it's not cheap to do these things, so maybe going and doing it in a shed in Mullingar is the best option.
The way forward.
Yeah.
Very good. Galileo at this age also, Mark, had already disproved Aristotle that heavier objects fall faster than lighter objects. And he had also discovered the pendulum theory.
Okay.
So there you go.
What is the pendulum theory?
I don't know. So
a pendulum is something that swings from side to side, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Theory. It's a weight suspended from a pivot. Oh no, that doesn't matter.
That would be the balls that people have on their desk.
Yes.
You put one on one side.
I never realised though that there might be something more to it. I suppose maybe it's that the momentum carries.
Okay, yeah. The momentum carries through from one end to the other.
Yeah. What an interesting theory. 7. Michelangelo turns 28. He sculpted a David Pieta, painted the Sistine Chapel. Does he move to architecture or botany?
Well, we thought you were going to say art club. He moves into architecture.
He does. What a mind.
What a mind is right.
What a mind. I read a quote there lately that Michelangelo, he believed that the sculpture was already within the stone and that he was exposing extracting it.
Very good.
Bringing it out.
I think it was Michelangelo as well. He was commissioned to design a building for some emperor or something, whatever the hierarchy at the time was, but he was able to build it anyway without having big poles, whatever they're called, in the middle of the building.
Oh, right.
And he built it, or he's designed it anyway, and the architect was like, no, this going, or the leader, emperor, was like, no, this is going to fall apart, we need those things in there. So what Michelangelo did was he built them, but he stopped them a couple of inches short of the ceiling because they
Wow.
didn't need it. So he still appeased your man while sticking to his own principle that they didn't need these.
Wow.
So that's interesting.
Very much so. Backed his own horse.
Yeah.
At the age of 28, Alexander the Great takes the Persian title King of Kings. So would you like to be a King of Kings in your 28th year, Mark?
I would like to be the King of Queens. Have you ever seen that TV show?
Yes, yeah.
I would like to be him.
Very American show.
Yeah, I never really watched it. I started watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia again recently.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
No.
They shot a series in Ireland.
Oh.
Yeah, down in Dingle, I think they were, and a few in Dublin. It's good.
Wow.
So I'd recommend that.
Very good. And finally, Mark, there are other yokes, but Zuckerberg floats Facebook on the stock market at the fine age of 28.
Wow. Okay. Now, was this game designed to make me think about what have I done with my life? Because it has. No.
Well, I'm asking you, Mark, as the anchor of Paper Tuesdays, to think boldly as you enter into your 28th year. To go and achieve greatness.
Where no 28-year-old has gone before.
Indeed.
Kids Zone. Because I have to bring my daughter there, I'm not weird.
Okay.
Michael, I came into this because I want to discuss something with you that I know you have some knowledge around.
All right.
That's the reason I shut up today. The shadow. I want to understand more about this shadow concept and first of all, what do you believe the shadow is?
Darkness.
Darkness.
Obviously. Darkness. And we put stuff there that we don't like, and that we project what's in our darkness onto other people.
And this is in the mind or consciousness?
I'd go with consciousness more so. Psyche.
Subconscious.
And yeah, but
what is the difference in psyche and subconscious?
Psyche is everything. Psyche is more feeling than subconscious is like the channels that are wired into us through what we surround ourselves with, our environment. This is how I see it anyway. But the psyche is something you feel, something that it's your relationship with the subconscious and the conscious and everything. It's how you and I relate. So it's our relationship with the external world. So then if we think of the psyche, that what we keep in darkness it's probably one of the first steps that is leading to poor mental health, that we can't accept ourselves, what's in ourselves, what's our past, our burdens, our dislikes. And if we don't, like this is all from young anyway, but if we don't bring light to the darkness, we don't accept that, then that will continue to weigh us down, whether we like it or not.
Okay. So positive mental health isn't just everything is great, my life is perfect, blue skies and rainbows. It's the acceptance of everything. It's the acceptance of all of it.
I think that's a good way of looking at it. And when you explain that concept of positive mental health, sunshine, to keep positive mental attitude about it, that's good and important. But it's no good unless it's grounded in our own experience. So he who looks outside dreams, but he who looks inside awakens. That's the Young quote. And it's that you can dream with your lofty rainbows and all, but if you don't bring your rainbows inside and see that I am worthy myself, I don't need to entangle myself in guilt or shame, then you will free yourself.
Yeah. But that guilt could already be there, and that's why you're striving for the sunshine and rainbows, but you're not actually acknowledging that those feelings are there in the first place, and that's causing friction, and that's why you need the sunshine and rainbows. It's out of your reach because you haven't dealt with this stuff that's internal.
All day long. Yeah.
Very interesting. I've been going to a psychotherapist for the past few weeks, and it's very enlightening, very challenging. It's tough. They're tough conversations to have, but I've definitely found them beneficial. But I can't really understand why, because there's things there that I already kind of understood but wasn't going deep enough into, and I've not really done anything bar acknowledge them, but I already feel better, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of things that I was holding on to that I felt guilty about, that I don't need to feel guilty about once I can kind of work through them. They're things that aren't necessarily my fault for feeling that way, and I should allow myself to feel that way by removing the fault or the guilt and allow them to come up. Now afterwards, it's challenging. Like, I was there on Friday, and the past, like since then, like since yesterday afternoon, it's been difficult and things have been coming up, and I suppose I've been a little bit distracted. My energy's been a bit low, and like I slept for 9 hours last night for no real reason. Like, my energy yesterday morning was fine, but afterwards I was totally drained. I was falling asleep by 8 o'clock, but it almost seems like these things come up and then they release, if that makes sense. Because where do you go from there? Like, after the acknowledgement of the past, or what you're holding on to, after the acknowledgement of that, where do you go? Like, or is there a next step to that, or is it all awareness?
It could be awareness. It's probably linked to acceptance as well of where you are, and that this brings you into the next step. But like, let it carry you rather than you be, oh, I have to go on now and do something else, or I have to. With something you say, like, it is. I think it would be totally natural. For a sign that it is working is the fact that you are drained, because your body and your mind and everything has to process all of this. Yeah.
It's very interesting, because I would always have the philosophy, like, there's steps or whatever, or okay, you need to lose weight, you go do this. Like, that's my job. Like, okay, here's the problem, we need a solution. But it's just like, with this, it's different. It's like, okay, here's the problem. And it's like, why is that problem there? Is there a reason for that problem? And you work your way through it. You kind of work your way to the problem. So what the problem isn't the memory or the situation itself. It's the impact of that situation. So you might be mad, or you might be holding on to some feelings about some certain part in your life or some incident that happened, but that's kind of not wise sitting there. It's, you need to go and you kind of stop at the situation. Whereas if you go deeper into that situation and what it has, that has invoked in you, that you've carried forward as a result of that, like, that's the actual problem. And that's been very enlightening. And the healing part that comes from that just kind of happens once you can get to it. I think now I'm still very early in the stages of this, and it's new to me, but it's very, very eye-opening.
I think it's important to remember, and I'm sure it's just something I want to throw out in there as well, is that you have to feel through this as well. Like, there's no, like, you mentioned at the start about, you have a problem with going to a solution, but like, it's just, when things feel like they're falling apart, sometimes you just have to accept that feeling and go with it, rather than panic and look for the solution. Yeah. And that happened on the way here. I felt awful, like, driving here, absolutely terrible. And I was just like, no, this is how I'm supposed to feel. With what I went through yesterday, those are the feelings I was supposed to feel around that. And I was like, okay, now I'm allowing myself to feel this, and that's okay. And I got through it, and I was like, actually kind of enjoyed the fact that I was able to feel that feeling, even though it was not a positive feeling. I was able to say, okay, I'm able to feel this now. So that means I'm able to process it and move on from it, if that makes sense. It's a beautiful description of the awareness that you're bringing to it for yourself. And with that awareness, then, how it frees up your capacity to have a broader awareness of where you are and what you're going through. It's very noble.
Yeah. But it all seems delayed, and that's hard to accept, that the stuff that has been there, and the way I was kind of talking about yesterday, it's issues that have come up in my own life kind of throughout it, that have been a result of these early memories or whatever. and the impact they've had on my relationships or my school, things like that. And I'm very glad that I went and done this work now. And I would have been someone who was very practical and being like, just go and fucking do whatever you need to do and get it done. But this is like understanding yourself and your own mind, and everything comes from your own mind. Your actions, your subconscious actions, the way you speak to yourself, the way you speak to other people, the way you engage in relationships, and the way you engage in conversations, and the way you engage in your own finances, your business, stuff like that, all stems from your mind and your mindset, and your actions will always come from your mindset and the direction you'll go in your life. And to go down that deep into yourself, I think, should be the starting point. And I there's a slight regret over not reaching my starting point sooner. Whereas I have done kind of therapy work in the past or whatever, but I think whatever this type of therapy is, and it's not like some crazy newfound idea, I'm just being asked leaded or pointed questions and being brought down this path to where I need to get to, and then working my way back up from there. But yeah, I don't know where I was kind of going with that.
I understand what you're saying, but I get the sense from what you said that you're not too happy that it's at this point that you're arriving at. You'd rather have learned at an earlier stage in life.
Yeah.
However, I think we must remember that psychotherapy, when someone engages in psychotherapy, or if someone, I think there's a lad from in his 90s that he said, I've been going to psychotherapy for the last 30 years and I think we're starting to get somewhere. He was going on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So this is, psychotherapy has its benefits, and you are feeling them and experiencing them at the moment. Absolutely. It's also something that's better understood as a long frame image, rather than a quick fix and on we go again. Definitely.
I don't see it that way. I would see it as that long-term route as well. That I'm not by no means cured or whatever. I'm just trying to bring more awareness to my day-to-day life and to my own life in general, and the paths I've gone down and why I have ended up down those paths. And it seemed entirely random, but in reflection, it's not entirely random.
I think our projections are fascinating.
Yeah.
Does that come up for you, or?
Yeah. Well, not so far. I'm not. It's still in the very, very early stages of it.
Well, it's a bit of a. I know I've been exploring quantum stuff, or like trying to hash out concepts and ideas on recent podcasts, but this is another one where like everything is a projection. So someone is annoying you because they talk too much or they seek attention. Where am I talking too much or seeking attention? And I don't get that many. Anything where you're casting judgment on someone, you sometimes like, and we're seeing the same relationship for you in terms of what's showing up in your life now. Where's the initial cause or initial observation or pattern experience? Out of interest, Mark, do you ever feel your mind shift during a session or something? Shift? Yeah.
In what regard?
I remember one session in particular where it was like a coil in my brain was just totally unloosened. And it was probably, I've never actually tried to explain it, but it was just that sense of freedom that came from the space that comes from it.
Yeah.
Within your mind. It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if I felt that kind of unwinding, but I've only done 2 sessions, but after both sessions, I remember just thinking that was important. Whereas, and that was like just a real feeling. It wasn't like, oh, it was important that I went and did that today. It was like, no, that was important, what happened there.
And I think as you are turning 28, father of Nora, it's what we can hand on by entering into this process that is most enriching, I think. Yeah. Because there probably is a cliche that healing leads to more healing or something, or heal people or something. But it's more that you will show up as a better man as a result of psychotherapy.
Yeah. That's it. I want to be a good dad for her and a good partner, a good friend. I don't want I want to give her the best life possible, and I think having a good dad is one of the best things I can give her. So if I can fix myself through whatever avenue possible, and that's not just being able to support her financially, it's being able to be a father for her, to try get her through her early stages of life as best I can, so that she can set herself up well without feeling any kind of damage. Now it's hard. You can't bubble wrap a child.
No.
But as long as I'm doing the best I can,
Yeah.
to be that support for her, then that's.
And
all
it's
I can
also
do.
the perception of you that she will hold of you.
Yeah.
Is what she will look for in a man when she is many years older.
Yeah. Or a woman,
Or a woman. Okay.
a Chinese woman. She'll look after her.
I see.
I don't know where we go from there, Michael. That was very deep.
It was. Are you going to have some birthday cake?
Oh yeah, there's birthday cake. There's a bouncy castle outside.
But here, what do you do when you mark your birthday as a father? Like, you just kind of go with it? Or are you going to have a normal day of work? Or
We're going to the Hudson Bay
oh,
for 2 nights next week, for Wednesday and Thursday night.
as it's also Breed's.
Breed's birthday on the 31st. So hers is on the Monday. Mine is a Thursday we're actually away for. So that'll be good. I've never been there before, but they have like a ferry trail for Nora and stuff. And I think there's like a meditation yoga class as well I'm signed up for. So it'll be good.
Very good.
It'll be enjoyable. What about yourself? Have you any plans?
Any plans for the week? I'm in the final stages of my thesis.
Yes.
And we're pushing on our electrician at the moment. He's working hard. Shout out to Cameron Walker electrician.
Literally pushing him.
Pushing.
Get in there.
Match those wires.
Yeah. Very exciting. Nearly there, the home stretch.
Almost there, yes, Mark, yes.
And then it's all wedding, baby.
All wedding, baby, yes, indeed. Yes.
Would you like to tell the listeners about your coffee machine?
My coffee
I
machine.
am fascinated.
Are you?
I can't stop thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Neff.
Yeah.
You could call over anytime for it, but it's Wi-Fi enabled, and you can, if you can leave a cup there, and it will do the coffee from your phone.
And this is not the most important part for me. The most important part for me is that it is fitted into
Oh, it
the
is fitted,
cabinets.
yeah.
I love that. I think it's so fucking cool. I don't know why, because obviously it's a bigger job to install Wi-Fi into a coffee machine and get it to work for you from a different room. But the fact that it's on a wall is the main thing for me.
It's very neat.
Yeah. It looks cool. Like
It's probably a sign of the times that like coffee machines haven't, like, not many new kitchens get their coffee machine as well. Well, look, it's an expensive luxury as well, I suppose. But like, I think most coffee machines are an afterthought because of they're an older kitchen, if that makes sense. So it's only a newer house that gets this opportunity to throw a bit of pizzazz in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, you're on the sideline of Megan Molan.
I am, yes.
Yes.
I'll be in the coffee dock.
You'll be ready and waiting.
I will. I might do the analysis with you while the match is going on, because you've been getting some haters online. Was it Hogan Stand?
Hogan Stand and Facebook.
And Facebook.
Yeah.
Go and fucking do it yourselves. If you know so much about Intermediate Ireland, fuck off.
There you go. Well, I really appreciate the support of the men around me. That we were a lovely little WhatsApp group there of the men.
Who is in this?
The
Are you allowed
six
to
of us.
disclose? Oh, us, yes, yeah. I thought you meant you and the other presenters.
Oh,
Yourself and
no.
what's his name from One a Gear?
Peter Murna.
Peter Murna, yeah, who unfortunately is under investigation at the minute about his payment from Wexford GA. And who's his agent? Noel Kelly?
No,
Noel Kelly has asked us not to speak about this.
Oh,
And
right.
it's sorted.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's all made up.
It's all made up, yeah. No worries, Peter.
Friend of the pod.
Friends. Yeah. So now,
That's all,
Mark,
folks.
I think we'll leave it there. But
Thank you, Michael.
I'm sure we'll... Happy birthday.
Oh, we will. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Next week. Oh, 28.